Welcome, welcome, welcome. What's going on, everyone? We are live. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to our 100th live stream episode. That is crazy. 100 episodes. Insane. Thank you so much for being here, whether you've dropped in every now and then or this is your first time or what have you. I really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. And, here's to the next 100 episodes while we try to figure out this thing about making $1 million, It's not done by now. 100 episodes. If you have an idea, this could be fun. If you're watching this, well, obviously you're watching this because you're listening to me. Have a guess for how many days you think it's gonna take for me to get to 1 million. I mean, I guess it could be infinity if you think I'll never get there, which is totally fine. But put down in the comments below how many days it's gonna take to get there. Very interested to hear what you have to say or what you think. So I am just going to, hang on a second. Oh my goodness. Today is, okay, of course that's wrong. Okay, slow it down. Okay, there we go. I'm just trying to log into my account. Okay, so today is a bit of a crazy day. I have a hard stop in 30 minutes for sure because long story short, anyways, I don't know if you've ever had to go get a passport. Probably, I guess. Anyways, so the process is you got to fill out paperwork and you have to get people to sign as like a guarantor and you have to get your pictures taken. So doing this process for the kids because the kids, their passports expired. One of them, they just need to get a new kid's passport and the other one needs to get an adult passport now. So switch from a kid to an adult. And so we got the pictures taken. We got them signed by the guarantor and all that kind of garbage. So I go today to the passport office. Of course, you never like to go because you got to wait for forever. So we're waiting and I finally get there and I talk to the person. He's like, yeah, this passport photo is going to fail. Like it's not going to pass because of there's like a shadow or something like that. And they're like, it's because, they need to have the photos clear for facial recognition. I'm like, oh yeah, here we go. But anyways, so it's really frustrating because you take this in to somebody like a passport specific spot and they take the photo and then it's no good. Like they should know what fails and what doesn't. So it's frustrating because then I have to go back. And then of course the person that signed it, they're away on vacation. So I don't have so I got to find someone else to sign the passports, which thankfully I did. But the thing is because we moved here in 2019, that the person needs to know the kids for the past 2 years. And there's hardly anybody that knows the kids for that long because when we first got here and then the pandemic happened and then we were just at home like the whole time. So there's not very many adults that the kids know that can vouch for them. So anyway, it's very frustrating. So I had to go take the passports to go get the new images signed by this new guarantor who was nice enough to do this for me today. And then I got to go in and then I got to go submit these passports and get them in so that we can get them so that we can travel. So anyways, that's why I'm a little bit of a rush. I guess you could say tomorrow. So before or without any further ado, let's just get to today's stream, I guess you can say. So this is taking a really long time. I'm trying to get into Webflow and it's just crapping out. Okay, here we go. And unconventional mindset. Okay. So what we're going to work on is back onto here. So I haven't done anything since yesterday. So I'm just going to look at where we are. I think we're looking pretty good. And we're going to go in here and just create the internal page for the articles and the podcast. Let's start with the articles. We have the article template, but let's take a look at, not the template, but let's take a look at the actual page. You know what? We'll duplicate this page and we'll call this articles. We'll create this. Okay. And how are we going to display these? We're going to display these pretty simply, I think. Actually, before I do this, let me get a little bit of music going. Okay. Oh, I hate being in such a rush and not being able to sit down and really getting into things. Such is life sometimes. Okay, so we don't need... Do we need a hero section? So for sure what we want, let's just say, right? There is a collection of all published articles, something like that, right? And this one, I don't think we need a hero section at all. We don't need this wrapper. So we're going to bring in a collection. And this collection is going to be from the articles, right? Now, do we want to show the thumbnails or not on this page? I don't know. Okay, we have all our articles here. This is H2. This is on the home page, so it needs to have it the H1. So we make sure we keep the hierarchy in order. Heading 2. That's going to be right. So I'm going to do maybe a smaller H2. Or maybe 2. Okay. I'm thinking of just having something a little bit more elegant, where it's just the date and then the title. Because the image itself, yeah, helps to give a little bit of color to the homepage, but other than that, I don't think it's important. So let's do this. Let's put this in a, I want to wrap it in a div container. So what are we going to do with the div container? We're going to give it, what are we going to give it? Because we want the date. Publication date. Just trying to think of how we could design this in a way that would make it look a little bit more appealing. I think if we, if we have it, let's put it in a grid. We want to make sure the first one is going to be not very wide. decent sized gap. And that's auto. Then let's align it to the top. Let's see. Actually, you know what? Hang on one second. There's a site that I had that has a really cool list for blog posts. I'm just gonna see if I can find it, and then probably just steal it. Can't seem to find anything too appealing. So let's try like on this one. Let's align it this way. And if we do that, this one needs to have a little bit of not margin, padding. Help it line up a little bit better. And let's, I think, oh, you know, I got the grid on the wrong, on the wrong item. Okay, let's rename this to article list grid. And then we need to put that to here. No, that's not going to work. Why is that not going to work? Because the grid needs to be on every item. And then that's doubling. So if I take this out here, that should work. But is it making it looks like it's making a new grid every time, which I don't think is what we want. We want the whole thing to be a grid. But then it's treating, okay. Looks like we don't have much choice, but that's okay. Let's give it a little bit of a margin at the bottom. Let's see what we can get for article list grid date. we want it here? We might. 0.75. Let's get it at 14 pixels. That height doesn't really matter because it's aligned in the middle of the grid. But what about color? Maybe even a lighter color. I don't know if we want to go too light. This is internal H1. Oh. Internal H1. Oh, God. 0.5. Then it's like super to the point. Let's see, hang on, what we can do here. What if we want to put a border here on the bottom? Not black, very light. And then we put it, we want to make things look a little bit even here, right? So, I mean, if we do something like that, it's almost there. 0.75. There, that looks like it aligns nicely. And then of course our H2, small H2. Actually, you know what it needs to be? It needs to be a link. Yeah, link block. Put the H2 in there. I like that. Color is black. I think the link is blue, which is nice. So, article list grid link. Put it our blue. Perfect. I'll have to have a hover color as well too. We're gonna deal with all those animations later. How does this look on a smaller? Yeah, still looks fine. Although, do we want to change the height a little bit? Small H2, 1.75. Is that gonna be too much? A little bit, 1.875. There we go. But now, then we need to go here, change the padding, 0.875. There. Better. And then we go to this collection, delete that. Definitely delete that. There we go. And that's what we will have for our all articles page. And then it'll just be a never ending string. I think you could probably do an easy load or what have you. But we'll worry about that when we get lots and lots of articles. And then what we should do is we want to make sure that we sort them. Sort by publication date, publication number. Right? The largest. Because then they'll go reverse chronological. So the latest ones will go at the top. Right. Makes sense. Makes perfect sense. Okay. I guess we want to do the same thing for the podcast. Duplicate. Podcast. And this will be all podcast episodes. All. And we're just going to have to make a new collection. And we'll just call this all podcasts. The source is going to be podcasts. I need to come up with a different name because we're going to use the same exact, basically the same exact everything. All right, so we're going to like article list grid. And then we're going to get a text block, and that's going to be the publication date. And that's article list grid date. What happened there? Publication date. And then we're going to get a link block. Call this article grid link. Heading H2. And it's going to be the title. And this is going to be, what is it, small H2? There we go. So let's come up with a good name, better name for this, more generic. So this is itemized list grid. Oh, ooh, I know. I have a better word. Collection list grid. Collection list grid date. Oh, I'll delete the whole thing. This will just help in the future if we ever get more things that we could reuse these class names. They're just more appropriate. All right, excellent. So we have our podcasts. And then we have our article pages. Let's go here. Let's create this into a symbol. I'm going to call this the header. Oh, no. Actually, I do want to edit this. Because that is going to link to an internal page, articles. And this is going to also, link to an internal page, podcast. And I think this is already linking to home. No, it's not. Page, home. And I think this logo links to home. It does. Perfect. So let's go to our home page. Delete this and put in the header. And then also, I think articles. Yep. And the header component. There we go. Articles, home, podcast, home. Excellent. Okay. Oh my goodness, I need to stop yawning. Sorry, just reading, absorbing everything, making sure everything still makes sense. Okay, the last thing we need to do is go in here and build these internal pages. For the articles and then also the podcast. And these are just basically going to be the content. It's going to be very, very simple and straightforward. I could lay it out now. Well, basically what it's going to look like, it's going to have the header. We're going to have the header, and then it's going to have the big title, and then it's going to have like written by, and then the date, and then just the text. So if it's an article, then it's just going to be the article itself. And then of course with the thumbnail image as well, I should say that's probably going to be on the first thing is going to be the image, then the title, maybe the title, then the image. I haven't quite figured out that yet. And then, yeah, and then who is by, who wrote it, what the date is, and then of course is the podcast, and there'll be the video link, and then there'll also be the player, the Simplecast player to play the podcast, and then the actual just the content, which is just like a rich text element. I think that'll be it. Very, very simple. So that should take no like 20 minutes to do, or another half hour or whatever. So we can get that done fairly quickly. And then we just need to get some icons here at the bottom, which you can't see where I'm pointing at. Just some icons right here at the bottom. And then this section will be done. The whole website kind of will be done. So something quick and easy and ready to go. So, all right. As I said, unfortunately, it's getting on to 30 minutes here, so I do have to go. I have to go meet someone to help get these passport stuff all signed away. I don't know what the word is. Anyways, episode 100. Thank you again for joining. I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone who's taken the time to come by, leave comments, give these videos a like, all that stuff. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And we'll see you here with episode number 101 starting tomorrow. All right, guys. Thanks again, and we'll see you then.